This year, at the Westchester Tattoo Convention, the aisles were full of tattoo clients, ink distributors, and angry tattoo artists.
You should keep it the way it is. You know, there's no reason not to.
Ramundi is talking about a new tattoo ink law that's set to go into effect December 12th. It will require all New York State tattoo artists to use single-use ink containers. This law, signed by Governor Andrew Cuomo, was in an effort to reduce the spread of hepatitis C.
Hep C is a huge number of cases. We think it's continuing to rise, and it needs to be addressed from a very large perspective and focus on all the different potential risks that people could get Hep C from.
And tattoos are one of those risks.
Any procedure in which needles are involved, in which you break the skin, in which possible exposure to blood is a risk for hepatitis C. A tattoo, anything that breaks the skin and has an exposure to blood products, is at risk.
Still, tattoo artists argue that a tattoo done at a professional shop is not at risk.
If you are a professional and know how to tattoo, and you know how to do it cleanly, using a bottle and disposable ink caps is not a problem.
However, a recent study found that people with hepatitis C were 4 times more likely to report having a tattoo. And the number of people affected by hepatitis C is only getting worse. According to the CDC, the number of reported cases rose from 850 in 2010 to 2,138 in 2013. Maybe that was the reason behind Cuomo's ink law. A good question without an answer. Tattoo artists are angry, saying they were not notified and had no idea there was a new law underway until it had already passed.
When we finally heard that this law was passed, not a single person, not a single tattoo artist here in New York has at this point even said that they were, notified about it until it was too late.
After multiple attempts were made to contact the sponsor of the bill, David Carlucci, he declined to comment. Media Relations, however, replied via text message. They said, talking about the bill at this time wouldn't be possible while we're addressing the issues the tattoo industry has raised, calling it inappropriate. Tara Fenn has been tattooing 12 years at Body Designs in Bayshore, New York, which she co-owns with her father. Now, they're worried their loyal customers won't be coming back.
We're going to be putting out a poorer quality of tattoos because of a poorer quality ink and having to charge more money. And people can't afford to get tattoos sometimes as it is. Now let's drive up the price of the tattoos and give them a poorer quality of work. I don't think so.
But it's not the ink itself that's to blame for a lower quality product. It's the packaging used to dispense it.
Because if you have this little ink shot, how do you mix this up? You can't, but in the bottle you can.
In fact, tattoo ink isn't really ink at all, but a mixture of pigment and water, not unlike makeup powder. And in order for ink shots to be made the right consistency, manufacturers are going to have to add a binding agent.
Imagine taking a piece of bubble gum and putting it on top of your skin, and now we're going to run needles over it and try to get that in your skin. We're going to be doing more damage to the derma, the epidermis of your skin.
When you're working with something that's a heavier product, that's harder to get into the skin, you run a high risk of ending up basically chewing up the skin, which gives you a higher risk for infection. The worse off your tattoo is, the more beat up your skin is, the more likely you are to end up with an infection or scarring even.
While this may be the opinion of just one tattoo artist, nearly 50,000 others say the same thing.
You would think that 46,000 signatures, 47,000 signatures on a petition for this would be enough. Well, apparently that's not enough.
How's that for your glove? If someone's going to take a contaminated glove and touch a bottle of ink, what makes you think they're not going to touch the little ink shots as well? It's like saying the gun shoots the person. It's the person who does it. Don't blame the ink, blame the person. It's their fault for being gross and dirty.
Still, there is no medical evidence proving the credibility of their argument, but there is no definitive evidence to prove tattoos are responsible for HCV. For Stony Brook News, I'm Valerie Politi.